Nelson Sammy, hanged July the 5th, 1940. Nelson Sammy, hanged July the 5th, 1940. At 1:15 a.m. on Friday, July the 5th, 1940, Nelson Sammy, 35, a First Nations man from the White Bear Reserve, was hanged at the Regina Gaol for the murder of RCMP Constable Willis Edward Rodenizer near Carlisle, Saskatchewan, on Saturday, August the 26th, 1939. He is buried in an unmarked grave in the Potter's Field of the Old Regina Cemetery. After the birth of their fourth child, Sammy and his wife Ruth became estranged, and he accused her of having relations with other men. On Friday, August the 25th, 1939, Sammy threatened Ruth with an axe, so she took her two daughters to the home of her niece, Gladys MacArthur. After loading his rifle with 4 bullets, Sammy went to the home of Ruth's parents, the Chiwaks, to look for her. Sammy thought that Ruth's parents had been trying to break up their marriage, and, according to author Frank Anderson, he believed Mrs. Chiwak to be a witch. When Mrs. Chiwak refused to tell Sammy where his wife was, perhaps she didn't even know, he shot and killed her, and later shot and killed his father-in-law as well. Sammy then went to the MacArthur home, and, spying Ruth through a window, shot and killed her before fleeing into the night. On Saturday, August the 26th, a number of RCMP officers arrived to hunt the fugitive, including a canine officer, Constable Willis Edward Rodenizer from Yorkton Detachment. Tracking Sammy to a clump of bushes, Rodenizer's dog, Tell, a German Shepherd, plunged in and barked. Tell had found its man. A shot rang out, Sammy's fourth and last bullet, striking Rodenizer, who was holding a lighted flashlight, darkness having fallen. The Mounties returned fire, seriously wounding Sammy, but Willis Rodenizer died on sight, Tell refusing to leave his side. Sammy would later say that he had been sleeping and woke up when Tell touched his back. Thinking the police dog a wolf, he fired at it and hit the constable instead. Nelson Sammy was originally tried for the murder of his wife Ruth, but the jury, after hearing his paranoia regarding infidelity and witchcraft, convicted him of the lesser charge of manslaughter. Sammy pled guilty to the same charge for the slaying of the Chiwaks and was sentenced to 20 years in prison for all 3 killings. But the death of a Mountie, one of Canada's national symbols, could not go unavenged, and he was tried for the murder of Constable Rodenizer, convicted, and in spite of the jury's recommendation of mercy, Nelson Sammy was hanged. While awaiting execution, Sammy befriended Stanley Illebrun, a 21-year-old farmhand, executed June the 21st, 1940, and whose case will soon be covered on this channel. The primary source for today's video is the chapter, The Tragic Saga of Nelson Sammy, in Frank Anderson's book, Sagas of the Canadian West, Volume 7. If you enjoyed today's video, which was filmed at the Potter's Field in the Old Regina Cemetery, please consider subscribing to The Gallows, where we explore Canadian murder cases which ended on the scaffold. And remember, if you're born to hang, you'll never be shot.